this is going to segue nicely into a question that was posted on our social media.
Oh, good. Okay.
One of our viewers, a guy named Jason Swiderski. I hope I'm getting his name correct.
It sounded good. Swiderski.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he wanted to know if there was if there were any changes necessary to the set list to accommodate your voice or to accommodate anything. Was there any alterations to the set list?
Yeah.
And on top of that, the second question he had was, what songs were most challenging for you to either grasp the lyrics, even though you had your poor man's teleprompter, or to actually project and sing the songs? So 2 questions. Was the set list altered to accommodate you, and which songs were the most challenging for you?
The answer is yes. But it wasn't for my voice as much as it was for, they were very aware that I was more familiar with the older material than the new material. That's a no-brainer, right?
Right.
So October 20th at Penn's Peak in Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania, the set was Zombie Apocalypse, that's new, Restless and Wild, Living for Tonight, London Leather Boys, Overnight Sensation, that's Mark's song, Midnight Mover, okay, old stuff. And then they have this thing they call Riff Orgy.
What album is that on?
That's a medley. I'm about to tell you what it is. The medley is made up of, this is badass, and I was so happy that they kept me on this for all 4, even the shows with Mark too.
Right.
It's a medley of Demon's Night. Fucking love that one.
Great song.
Starlight.
Ooh.
Losers and Winners.
Love that song.
And Flash Rockin' Man.
Love that one too. Yeah, that's a good orgy.
Yeah, that was a Riff Orgy. So and then Neon Nights.
Yes.
Neon Nights. And then Princess of the Dawn. This is Thursday. And then Fast as a Shark. And then Metal Heart. And then Teutonic Terror, which is Mark. And then Pandemic. And then we leave and we come out and we do Breaker and Balls.
Wow.
Breaker Balls. No, Breaker and then Balls to the Wall.
Right.
Now, the difference in that is that was catered to more or less to me.
Yeah.
Only just for Jason's question. Only because I was less familiar with the Mark material, which makes sense, right?
Right.
So the next 3 nights were Zombie Apocalypse, that's the same. Symphony of Pain, that's Mark too, see? Right into Restless. Then Mark pulls me out. You know, he talks about, let's talk about the elephant in the room. You know, I've been sick and I'm getting better, and thank you guys for the support and all the kind words. But we invited a friend out here to help us, man, and we're going to invite him on here and let y'all give a warm welcome. And he pulls me out there, and it's like, yay. And then I do London Leather Boys and Midnight Mover. And then I'm like, you know, Kiss the Babies and da-da-da-da-da, and I split, and Mark comes back out. All right, I'll give Jason a hand. You know, it was tag team a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
So
this is
like,
show number 2.
Yeah. So it's Mark for 3, me for 2, Mark for 3, me for 2, kind of like that.
Okay,
But so I do London Leather Boys and Midnight Mover. He comes out, does Overnight Sensation, Hung, Drawn, and Quartered. That's, yeah. And it's something called The Abyss. Now, these, I'm being honest, those last 3, I don't know those.
Right.
Like, those aren't even on my list. I was not given those to learn.
Right.
And Wolf knew that. Wolf knows that. So he's thinking of Mark. It's Mark. It's about Mark. It's about Mark anyway.
Right.
Bless his soul. And then after The Abyss, Mark pulls me out again. Yeah, Jason's going to come out here and sing some old shit. You know, I come out and do the Riff Orgy, which is that medley of old shit, which is so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And I had to learn what they're doing of each tune in that, by the way.
Right. Which segment?
They're basically doing a verse and a chorus, and then they do like a big shebang, and they go into the next one, verse and chorus, and then they go into a next one, and da-da-da-da-da. The only one that wasn't like verse, chorus, into the next thing was Starlight. They do the big interim solo, the harmony solo, you know, And that's an Uva. I think that's no, I can't remember. It might have been Uva that comes out and does that with Wolf. I can't remember. Anyway, and then ends with, what was it? Losers and Winners and Flash Rockin' Man, which were like verse chorus.
Yeah.
Then Breaker.
Yeah.
And unbeknownst to me, on this would have been Friday, Mark's night back, when he comes back, he walks out and goes, "I'm going to do this one with you. Yeah, come on." And we sort of tag team and switch verses and sing the choruses together.
Yeah.
Fucking so fun.
Wow.
So fun. Just to like, you know,
yeah,
like gritty vocals chiming together was like fucking heavy.
So is there any point when you're on the stage with these guys and you're singing these songs, a lot of them songs that you grew up with and you've admired for decades?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you're a professional and you're caught up in the moment and you're just delivering the goods, but is there any point where you're just grinning ear to ear because you can't believe you're on a stage with Wolf Hoffman and singing Flash Rockin' Man or something like that? Any pinch me moments?
Well, yeah, but it was mainly when I would sort of like turn to one of the guys sort of like secretly to see if they were glaring dirty looks at me, like, man, he's fucking this up, you know, or whatever. Because I'm going to be honest, I wasn't perfect.
Yeah. Well, you couldn't be expected to be perfect.
I was not perfect.
Yeah.
I did the best I could do. Some songs were way better than others. I feel like I did, you know, mostly my best work, I have to say, was the obvious ones,
right?
Know, which would have been Breaker and, you know, Restless and Wild and Shark.
Right.
You know,
talk about Shark. That
London
song.
Leather Boys. I was by the third night, London Leather Boys was starting to, Midnight Mover and London Leather Boys was coming together.
Yeah. Talk about Fast as a Shark, because that song opens with the legendary scream. And so in your mind and in your lungs and in your diaphragm and in your guts, are you like, that's got to be like being at the starting line, just waiting for the gun to go off.
Well, the first song, Zombie Apocalypse, starts the same way.
Okay.
It doesn't have that, you know, high D, high do, high da. It doesn't have all that. It has some riffage, and then before the drums come in there, I think there's this rip roaring, you know.
But you have to know that with Fast as a Shark, everybody's got you under a microscope, because they all have known that scream for, you know, 40 years or 35 years, however old that song is.
Yeah, but if you've got any adrenaline and you know a little bit about how to use your voice like that, it's kind of like, I mean, I know what you're saying, but
yeah,
that was something that me and Mark, we kind of probably shouldn't take for granted.
Yeah.
I can do a gig if I can do that scream.
Yeah.
I'm going to be okay tonight if I can go, you know, rah, you know, if I can do that. So,
right. So is there any point, you started this whole conversation by basically admitting that you weren't 100%, you were a little under the weather.
Yeah, and to finish for Jason's question, the rest of the set list that we did for the 3 nights with Mark, with the tag team kind of thing, was after we both did Breaker, he would stay and do Undertaker, Princess of the Dawn, and then not unbeknownst to me, because if you look here, if you look at Fast as a Shark, see the things in brackets, that's all me. Those are the ones I was doing.
Right.
But for Shark, he would come out and he's like, "Man, I'm going to do this one with you." Or no, it was like, "Hey, Jason, get your ass out here. Help me sing this one." You know, and he would say it into the mic and everyone would be like, "Oh, this is going to be," you know, he would set it up like, "Hey, man, come on," you know. And so we did Shark together, and then I would peel off and wave and, you know, kind of thing. And then he would do Metal Heart, Teutonic Terror, and Pandemic, which is those Mark songs are in the same place as they were on Thursday when it was just me. And then they didn't, and I wasn't doing Son of a Bitch. They do Son of a Bitch, and then of course Balls to the Wall. But this, he would pull me out for Balls to the Wall, but they go into I'm a Rebel. So they were closing with I'm a Rebel on those last 3 nights, which is fucking awesome.
Yes.
Love I'm a Rebel.
I saw some of the YouTube clips. It was awesome.
Yeah, and I'm basically the cheerleader, which is kind of right anyway. I was there. I was the Band-Aid. I was there to just kind of be the annoying. Because here's the deal. And this, we can start talking about this now. We've been on here about an hour. Listen, I just want to say I had the greatest time of my life. I was in someone else's house. For the most part, the fans, there was a couple of haters. It was, a guy in the front row with his arms crossed, shaking his head going, nope, nope. Wearing an Accept shirt, nope, fuck this guy, right in dead center, right in front of me.
Yeah.
And, I just had to ignore that because they have right. I'm standing in someone else's shoes. I totally get it. I'm not going to get mad at anyone for having an opinion about coming to see their favorite fucking band and some assholes standing where
Texas.
Yeah, some asshole from Texas is in here going, what? I don't fuck this guy. This,